not really a ton of inserts. So this was also just sort of during the change of the hobby where you started to see more refractors, chrome, just more premium sets start to be released for basketball. But
And something people should be aware of when purchasing a card like this, or cards from the past in general, is this card does tend to have discoloration and greening on it. So if you are looking at this card on eBay, whether it's a PSA 9 or a PSA 10, and you see a significant decrease in the price of this auction versus a previous sale, do not think that you're getting this, diamond in the rough steal at this price point. If it a lesson that I've learned hard in the hobby is, if it seems too good to be true, it most likely is. And when a card greens a little bit, depending on whether it's partial or the whole thing, or if it's exposed to sunlight, or just wasn't kept the way it should have been, kind of sealed in a cool, dark place, you can see greening on cards like this, and a greener card or a discolored card decreases the value of it. So the cleaner the card is, the less discoloration, the higher the price point of the card. So this is definitely a card that I've personally seen completely discolored. So just be aware to check those price points. And this is a card too that, not to say I wouldn't buy it on eBay, but listen, eBay images are just never going to show the true colors of a chrome card, right? They're never going to show the true representation. This is a card that I'd love to see in person. I'd love to see at a show. I'd love to kind of like get my eyes on it in person before I purchase.
yeah, totally. And thank you for bringing that up, by the way, because as you can see a little bit on his arm there, as well as on his thigh, you see a bit of that greening. But as you said, sort of that also adds just another level of rarity. There's only about 500 PSA 10s. I'm obviously going for a nine because it's a bit more affordable, but obviously, if a bunch of them weren't greened, then there would probably be more PSA 10s. I mean, it is a base card, so there are a decent amount of these out there. But to your point, once you start getting into the gem mints and the 9.5s and stuff like that, that's where all of these little details really matter in terms of is the card hulking, and things of that nature. But this was also another card sort of during that 2020 2022 time where people started to realize, oh, it's his first chrome card, this is worth buying. The refractor was one that really went crazy, since that's the rare version of this card. But over the last year, both nines and tens have gone up about 30%. So just back to that point where with some of these cards, slowly but surely they'll get there. I know there's a ton of volatility in this hobby, and especially with ultra modern and guys that are currently playing. But if you identify the right cards as well as the right players, you could see these cards go up just based off how iconic they are and the number of collectors that want to own them.
And the last guy you got on this list, I would argue,
Please like, subscribe, and check out these other videos that we think you might enjoy.